A multi-camera setup for under $250? Color me intrigued. Yo, it's Joe from Photos with Phones. Today we're here in Richmond, Virginia to put the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G cameras to the test. We'll unbox the phone and do a full camera test around the city, meaning we'll discuss every mode in the native camera app and provide sample photos and videos for each. We did buy the phone from a third party on Amazon, but it did come with everything that Samsung's website claims that the phone does. What does your purchase of the A32 5G come with? Well, it comes with the phone, a data cable for charging, a travel adapter, and an ejector tool. Now, let's discuss why the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G is an enticing budget smartphone for mobile content creators. Firstly, the price, and especially for a 5G phone, is super competitive. The main camera on this phone is also going to be a 48 megapixel, which is super impressive. You also get multiple other cameras that we'll talk about later on. It also comes with external memory support, a 5000 milliamp battery with fast charging. The 90Hz screen and the chipset and processor are the only negatives for this phone. The A32 5G has an impressive array of cameras at any price, but for less than $300, this setup is really hard to believe. As I mentioned earlier, the main camera is going to be a 48 megapixel featuring an f1.8. The ultrawide camera is going to be a less impressive 8 megapixel with an f2.2. You'll also get a 5 megapixel macro camera with a 2.4 aperture and a 2 megapixel depth camera with an f2.4. The selfie camera on this phone is going to be a 13 megapixel with f2.2. Now, the question is, do these cameras perform as well out in the field as they do on paper? Now that we've seen all the cameras and what they can do, let's look at the modes in the native camera app of the A32 5G. We'll be discussing general tips to get more out of the camera app and conducting a zoom test later on in this video, so if you want to see those now, go check out the chapters linked in the video description. In normal camera mode, you'll have access to the main camera and the ultra-wide camera. You'll have to go into the aspect ratio in the top to find the 48 megapixel camera. What is the scene optimizer? Well, it really just tells you that you should switch into night mode when you should switch into night mode. I did a little bit of testing of the autofocus and it was fairly competent. The portrait mode is going to come with multiple intensity levels. I tested all of them, but then found out that you can edit the intensity levels after you finish shooting, so keep that in mind. For the night mode, I took some photos this morning before the sun rose and was fairly impressed with the main camera, not so impressed with the ultra-wide camera or the selfie camera. The Pro mode for the A32 5G is not particularly impressive. You can only adjust basic exposure settings. The Pano mode is fairly easy to use, just like with any other phone. The food mode I was not impressed with. It's just some software bokeh that's not particularly impressive. Macro camera I was pleasantly surprised with at 5 megapixels, though it is worth noting that you cannot record video using the macro camera. To test the video mode, I recorded with the stable tripod and then also handheld with no stabilization settings on, with stabilization settings on, and then I also popped the A32 5G onto my gimbal so that we can see everything head to head. It is worth noting that you can't use any of the video stabilization settings with anything higher than 1080p quality. For the slow-mo, I did the same test as with the video and was fairly impressed with the results. The Hyperlapse feature also has a night Hyperlapse feature that you get to by clicking this button. Fortunately, during the darkest part of the morning while I was trying to test this night Hyperlapse feature, it was not doing the night Hyperlapse thing that I thought it was doing. Let's check out the zoom capability. The test is conducted with the phone on a tripod because the more zoom I employ, the more evident the vibrations of my hands are. Here's the 1x zoom, here's the 2x zoom, here's the 4x zoom, and here's the 10x zoom. Before I end the video, I'd be remiss if I didn't discuss some ways to make the Galaxy A32 5G camera better. My camera hacks for the phone include turning on the grid mode, different ways for opening the camera app, using burst mode, and adding camera modes from the more area into the bottom of the camera app. That's all we got for you. If you feel like you got value from this video, go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps Photos with Phones out a lot because it forces YouTube to show our videos to other people. Because of the algorithm. Comment which phone you'd like to see reviewed like this next. You can also comment any questions or concerns about the Galaxy A32 5G, and I will respond. As always, subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell, because we're coming out with twice weekly mobile photography and filmmaking, tips, tricks, hacks, reviews, unboxings, anything you would be interested in if you like taking photos and videos on your phone. Seriously though, we are planning to get back to twice a week, y'all. Toodles, see you in the next one. Bye.